Greetings, everyone. I am Oblyron, Lord of the Underworld and consort to the most lovely Hecate. Thank you for joining me on today's episode where I will be channeling my higher self to receive a message for Beltane of 2026. Now, this particular message lasts for the entire season over the next couple of weeks. And without further ado, let's get the incense lit and begin the channel. So I have no idea what's going to be coming through. And I usually don't remember. Well, you kind of remember, but you also kind of go into this state where it's a little bit of like a dreamlike state. So you don't always remember everything that you say, but you kind of remember the general feelings and the general gist of it too. Okay, well that seems sufficiently lit now. So I will be using a besom to help induce shamanic trance. A lot of times this is what is also used in, like, let's say drum circles. Not necessarily a besom, but some type of rhythmic pulse to activate that trance. Okay. Amde sote, amde Oblyron, amde sote, amde Oblyron. I am Oblyron, keeper of the chant of rebirth and guardian of time's end. Beltane 2026. Not that time really matters. But at this time of the year, astrologically, we are moving into a time of, well, if you're a gardener, you'll be planting the seeds. You would be planting your transplants. It's May Day. It is a time of new hope, a time of good weather, peaceful weather, a time of passion, even. There are many things which represent the time of Beltane. And much of it, revolves around, again, fertility, passion, new love. So for many, you may be feeling that love is on the horizon. And for those who are not necessarily looking for something like that, well, it may be a season of wonderful creativity. Seeing your work come to life, seeing the fruits of your labor begin to really unfold. This time of year brings so much promise. We've just come out of the season of growth. We've really been planting those roots firmly in the earth, really diving deep into our own transformation, diving deep into our own underworlds for many of us. Going through our self-reflection, going through all those things that we've been asking ourselves. And now, after Beltane, we are going into a time when we now have the tools necessary to go forth into the rest of the year with optimism, with a renewed sense of vigor. Now, depending on where you live, you may be noticing nature just coming into full bloom. Not just the plants, but the animals too. The rebirth of the world. And ultimately, as within, so without. As we see nature beginning to come back, as we see life beginning to come back, to be restored, well, we also feel restorative process within our bodies. We begin to also feel the renewed faith and spirit. It's not that the faith was gone. It's just that sort of recharging of the batteries, that sort of revitalization of the spirit. Yes. I'm seeing, again, a lot of twos. Not necessarily only in, let's say, romantic relationships, but this can also be partnerships too, business partnerships, new ventures as well. Yes. Now's a good time to probably reach out. Now's a good time to promote. Make friends. Maybe perhaps even start something new. The time is right. It's very fertile. Now's the time to bask in the sunlight. There is nothing really prophetic about the time of now. Now is really about being in the body. It's really about being of the earth. And why wouldn't it be of the earth? I mean, it is Taurus season after all. But again, being in the body, there are times for reflection, there are times for contemplation, there are times to philosophize. But now is the time to enjoy. Now is the time to branch out and explore new beginnings. All right. Wow. Okay, so that was a shorter message than normal, but I'm not surprised. With the message being to really just enjoy the earth right now, it would make sense that the channel wouldn't have to necessarily be too long, too explicative. And yeah, I really would have to agree with my higher self that there are times of the year for doing things. Now's the time to enjoy. Especially coming out of winter. Winter is usually a time of deep reflection. It's usually a time when we go into that long night, quite literally. So yeah, it definitely makes sense. Be in the body, because that's also why we signed up for these lives too. We signed up for these lives to experience these sensations and these feelings as well. So enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Yes, I think that's a rather appropriate message for Beltane. Okay, well, thanks again for joining me on today's Oblyron Divination. If you've resonated with today's message, then feel free to leave a like, comment, or subscribe, and let us know how you've resonated with it. And again, my thanks, and may Hecate illuminate your path and guide you at the crossroads.